Today on Up with KREM, Washington is known for its outdoor access, but now budget cuts are closing campgrounds and limiting recreation. What it means for your next trip outside.
Plus, I'm tracking your weather forecast where we are going to see some drier conditions across the region and temperatures close to average.
Plus, if you're hitting the hiking trails this spring, experts have some important and possibly life-saving tips to share. Good Sunday morning. Thank you for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Brandon T. Jones. Lots of news we're going to get to here in the next hour or so. But first, let's start things off with Jenny Power over in the Weather Center. Jenny, we've had a lot of good and beautiful weather over the last few days, but still getting a little chilly in the mornings. What do we have in store for us today?
Yeah, that's right, Brandon. It was another chilly start here across the region. Not quite as widespread freezing temperatures as what we saw yesterday morning and even the morning before that, but it's enough here where you'll notice the chillier start here to your Sunday morning. But as we move forward, what we'll see weather-wise here are mostly sunny skies, but the slight chance of a stray pop-up shower here and there. So something to be aware of as we move into the beginning of this afternoon as well as this week. Daytime highs were trending at about 56 degrees for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. That's still slightly below our average, but we're looking at some low 60s for Colville, mid 60s for Omak, 66 degrees for Moses Lake, and we're even looking at some low 70s south to Richland there in the Tri-Cities. So we're starting off dry, but what we'll watch for into this afternoon is about a 10 to 20% chance here of a quick passing shower. Again, we are sitting mostly dry for the region. It's because of an upper level disturbance primarily impacting Montana that could deliver us a quick hitting shower before we see drier conditions into this evening. When we could see a warm up in our temperatures, that's ahead.
Well, happening tonight, both Coeur d'Alene Fire Department and Kootenai County Fire and Rescue will be lighting up their fire departments red. It's part of the Light the Night for fallen firefighters. Their building will be red starting today until May 3rd. Then, on May 3rd, Battalion Chief John Morrison of Coeur d'Alene Fire Department and Battalion Chief Frank Harwood of Kootenai County Fire and Rescue will have their names added to the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial. They say the community can support by installing a red light bulb at their home or business. Well, recreation sites are closing across Washington state because of budget cuts to the Department of Natural Resources. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy tells us what outdoor enthusiasts here in Spokane have to say about it.
Adam Gebauer is the Public Lands Program Director for the Lands Council in Spokane. It's a nonprofit aimed at helping to revitalize inland Northwest forests, water, and wildlife.
We love getting folks out to experience their local nature. That's one of our main missions, is show how accessible our public lands can be for folks.
But right now, Gebauer says that mission is getting harder at recreating sites across the state. The Washington Department of Natural Resources announced they're cutting recreation services and closing some campgrounds due to state budget cuts. DNR says the budget cuts are increasing an ongoing lack of funding for maintenance and staff, leading to a more than 20% reduction that passed during last year's legislative session. In total, DNR says there was roughly $8 million in cuts to their recreation program in the past 2 years. 11 campgrounds are impacted, including 3 full closures for parks this year. This includes the Rock Lakes Campground in Okanogan County. Gebauer says the cuts are disappointing to people wanting to recreate across the state.
Washington is known for its outdoor rec opportunities, so anytime those are underfunded, it's just unfortunate.
He hopes more work gets done next year to try and restore funding so more people can enjoy wildlife across the state, and he hopes cuts don't come closer to Spokane.
If folks have a particular spot that's being impacted, it'd be great to reach out to DNR to figure out if there's ways for volunteers to help maintain trails or keep sites open.
Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Well, if you're getting outside this weekend, some things to be aware of because of all of the weather we've had this spring. Hikers in the Northwest have been dealing with wet conditions on our trails. So if you plan on hiking soon, make sure to be prepared. Search and rescue teams say they've seen hikers end up lost or stuck for hours or even days just trying to take a shortcut. Remember to always pack water and some snacks, keeping protein in mind and considering packing a tarp.
Make a little pitch over a log and you get underneath it. I think that's one of the great little secrets of how to survive the night.
Also, make sure to have a power bank for your phone, a headlamp, and potentially a fire starting kit. And as we stay outdoors, it's also tick season. It's back this year, and it could also be worse this year. The CDC says each year almost 500,000 Americans are diagnosed and treated for Lyme disease. That's the most common tick-borne illness. The 2026 Tick Outlook says we will continue that trend. The upper northeast is ground zero for ticks, but the population has been expanding more north and west because of warmer temperatures. Keep in mind, you have to weigh the bad with the good. Don't let the tick season ruin the benefits of being outdoors.
My recommendation is stay away from any vegetation. Stay on the trails. Don't touch anything in terms of limbs or branches or certainly vegetation where they're waiting to latch onto you.
All right, so if you are worried about ticks, there are some things you can do to prevent getting bitten. Things like using insect repellent and hiking in longer pants or socks. So if getting out and hiking isn't your thing, we've got you covered with quite a few events going on today. We're going to go ahead and tell you about it. It's time for your weekend What's Up. First up, the Idaho Conservation League is doing an Earth Day shoreline cleanup today. It'll be at the City Beach in Sandpoint from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You just have to bring a reusable container and some gloves. Also today, the Northwest Improv Fest is this weekend. It's from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight at the Spokane Convention Center. There's going to be 18 different acts and more than a dozen different workshops. This weekend is also the anniversary of a festival that helped shape the music scene here in the Inland Northwest. Greenstock was a late 80s house party that exploded in size only to fall apart. You can watch our special Mud, Music, and Mayhem, The Greenstock Story. It's streaming right now on KREM 2+, and here's a preview.
The Glory Days.
Greenstock! 1989! The biggest best team ever seen in Pullman!
And it really was a joke. It was the guys who lived at the greenhouse, which was this legendary party house at Wazoo, saying, could we really have every band in Pullman play at our house?
It was a lot of friends throwing a big party.
And everybody made the pilgrimage to the wheat fields, those crazy college kids.
At some point, they moved it outdoors.
The police had kicked in the door to my house with a warrant that said, attempting to throw a party without a permit.
They figured there was 14,000 people here.
Mud, erosion, stream choking silt.
If you just do what you're told, you'll never do anything. But if you don't do what you're told, you may well completely have a disaster on your hands.
Alrighty, another quick reminder about Diaper Drive that is coming up. We still need volunteers though, so we can give families in the area the diapers that they need. The Diaper Drive starts tomorrow, and there are a lot of opportunities to help out. And we give all of these diapers to Vanessa Behan, who then hands them out to families who need that help. And just a few hours of volunteering can make a huge difference. You can sign up right now on KREM.com to volunteer, and you just get the opportunity to pick your time and location.
I'm all for it. We need more affordable housing in Spokane in general.
All right, still ahead on Up with KREM. More than $1 million could be headed to Spokane's West Central neighborhood, what the city is considering this week.
I get to be that yes person, and that makes me so happy to be able to tell families yes.
And later, a local child care expanding services after they got a big grant from the state.